Professor EGHOSA OSAGHAE, thank you so much for joining us at the platform for the first time, and I'll call it a first explosive. You know, you really made us think, and you really just said, okay, we should think first things first. But one of the things you raised was the issue of order, you know, and how to maintain order in society. And the question is, how can we maintain order without getting to the point of brutality or force? Because it seems that the way Nigeria has gone, if there's no level of maybe militarism, then we cannot maintain order. How can we get back to that place?
You know, order is civil order, actually.
Civil
order, yes. The military order is, it's actually, it's not just a contradiction, but that's a pack full. A civil order, and civility, you know, is what undergirds, you know, civil order. Civil order is the product of a society where there's consensus, where there's basic agreement on the rules of the game. Where, therefore, you have disorder, is actually an indicator that there's no agreement. You know, so like I said in the course of the lecture, if you go on our streets, every person is his own law enforcement agency. You know, so every person believes that, you know, there is nothing that can protect me. I cannot even trust the civility or the neutrality of my supposed protector. So actually, the order that we're talking about is not civil order. This is order of the colonial imperial kind, you know, which is, you know, domination order.
Yes, exactly. But how can we then come to that point of consensus?
That's where we are. You know, that's the next thing. And the whole purpose of my contributions today was to say that we need to have a state that we own. You know, we don't own this state. It's still an alien state. It's a state where, as they say in popular parlance, it doesn't have a father, it doesn't have a mother. So we need to give it a father and a mother. All of us.
All of us together.
Yeah, so and you know, it takes time. 56 years, that's like an evening.
That's enough time?
No, I don't think so.
So how long do you think it will take?
No, it's impossible to
give
any time frame. But I'm quite sure, you know, that in another 100 years, people would look back and say, oh, those who battled to keep Nigeria one really, really had a tough task on their hands. I hope there will still be a Nigeria then.
But for those watching, what can we all begin to do in our own spaces to even then maintain or develop this consensus?
Well, the first thing is to have a consciousness. In a consciousness of the fact that we don't belong to Nigeria only because we want to share in the national cake. You know, there's a duty we all owe the country. The government, and I actually missed that out of my lecture, you know, that, you know, we are too governmentalist in our thinking. You know, we have to move beyond that. Government is not able, you know, to do all the things we want it to do, especially when by government we mean federal government. It's impossible. So if the states become more autonomous, and there's a clamor for that now, so we actually have 37 governments, effective governments, you know, then people can begin to find their spaces. And then consensus building can begin crystallizing around state structures, and then we'll get to the federal level.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure having you, and we look forward to definitely having you.